Welcome to the discussion of Chapter 7 and the last chapter in Part 1 of Crime and Punishment. So it starts out with Raskolnikov being at the top of the fourth story and the old woman opening up the door. Just as before, she's a little suspicious. She didn't have an appointment with him, and so she's not totally sure why he's there. He's acting very agitated and is trying to calm himself down so that he doesn't come off as being anything but a normal transaction. He had already told her that he was going to bring her something, but she doesn't seem to remember it. And she even seems like a little like questioning the package, like, what is it? He's like, well, I already told you it was a silver cigarette case. She's like, doesn't feel like silver. He's created this fake package by wrapping a piece of iron up against a piece of wood to give it like the right size and to give it a little bit of weight. And he's tied it very tightly so that she will take a long time opening it, and that will give him some time while she's distracted to murder her, which is exactly what he does. She steps away to get some more light so that she can untie it, and he takes that opportunity to murder her. And when he murders her, he kind of snaps right into action. He grabs the keys, he goes and he steps into the bedroom. And that is full of, if you just get the imagery, he's just murdered her. He goes into this room and it's just like every wall is just like full of icons and religious symbolism. And he's just like trying to focus on finding the key that will open the drawer. And it's this huge key ring. It's got all these keys. He's trying key after key. And then he remembers there's this big key that he knows won't fit there. And so he's like, oh yeah, that's right. I thought about that last time. There's probably a trunk. And so he goes to the bed and he looks under it, and there is a trunk there. He gets it open easily with the key and begins uncovering all of these pieces of jewelry, which are probably pledges that she has been hiding away. And he hears a sound in the living room, and he's like, he's already checked her once to make sure she's dead, but he keeps hearing a sound. And he goes out there, and to his great surprise, he finds Lizaveta, who has come home from her meeting with the merchants and has discovered her stepsister dead. And he had never planned for what he would do in this case. And she's so stunned that she's not even crying out. She's not even really trying to defend herself. She's not trying to run away. She's basically terrified and mute. And just, it's not even like she's trying to protect herself from the axe that's above her. She's just trying to like wave him off, like just kind of like no. And he strikes her and she's dead instantly. He strikes her with the sharp point of the axe and she's dead instantly. She goes to the ground. And now he's really in a frenzy because he was like, that was unexpected. It's got him off his game. Now he starts to focus on cleaning up the axe and like the blood and washing his hands. And he's kind of forgotten it. Like he's not really thinking about the money anymore or the pledges anymore. He's stuffed a few in his pockets, but he's gotten a purse off of Alyona Ivanova, a purse full of money that she had wrapped around her neck, and he's grabbed a few of these things, but there's no like great amount of money, which is what his plan had always been. And he had talked about in the last chapter going after the first time that he went to see her, stopping in a tavern. And this fellow student, one that he didn't know, was at the next table and was talking about this very thing that he had been thinking, which was somebody could kill that old bird and take all that money. She's got thousands and thousands, take all that money and really help people, like help them get back on their feet and help them, free them from despair. And, people who kill themselves over their financial crises could be saved and so much good could be done. And she's an old bat. She's going to die soon anyway. So, what is the death of her over saving, so many people. And he had thought of that as like what are the chances that he had just seen her and then he comes and sits down and he hears somebody else that's just like him, a student, talking about this exact idea that he had had in his mind. And so that had been the plan. Like the plan was supposed to be a noble one. The plan was supposed to be not just to kill her for the sake of killing her or to get rid of her, but to actually get your hands on all the money and then use that money to help people who are really struggling at this time. And so he's kind of been thrown off a little bit by this, like showing up of Lizaveta. Everything's taking much longer. Just to get the purse off of the old lady's neck. It said it took him 2 minutes. Like, even though he had the axe, it was just taking, everything seems to be taking so long. The time that he's taking, it almost feels like it's slow motion, or he's not thinking through, like he's not hurrying like it seems like he should be. He just keeps taking time to do other things. And he all of a sudden realizes the door is open. The door has been open this whole time. Like, he doesn't know, it was never locked behind him. So he doesn't know if it was closed and then Lizaveta came in and opened it, or if it was opened by Lizaveta and not closed. Like, did she open it and then see her sister not close it? But it's like anybody could have seen anything that he's done at this point. Like, he doesn't even know if the door's been closed when he killed the old lady the first time, but it's definitely open now. So he's super freaked out. So he closes the door and locks the door, and he kind of is just like, okay, kind of like gets himself together, and he's just like, wait a second. I don't need to be closing myself in. I need to be getting out of here. So he opens up the door and he's listening, like, is it safe? And he's hearing a bunch of, kind of ruckus downstairs, but then it gets quiet. And then he starts hearing footsteps and he's like, they're coming to the fourth floor. He just knows it. And he's listening and he hears it getting closer and closer. And it's like, he's like, I gotta get back in the apartment. So he gets back in the apartment, locks the door, and he's just listening. And he's like, this is the same situation I was just in with the pawnbroker, where she was on the inside and I was on the outside. Now here I'm doing it with somebody else. And this guy is like kind of pissed that she's not there because he has made an appointment with her. And he's like, I've got business with her. And, she said that she was going to be here. And this other younger guy shows up. They kind of know each other. He's like, yeah, I played billiards with you down at the tavern. He's like, oh yeah, I remember. And so they're like, well, he's like, what's the deal? She's not at home. And he's like, no, she told me to be here. And now, she's not here. And the younger kid goes, well, look at how the door is acting, though. The door isn't acting like it's bolted shut. It just is acting like it's just hooked from the inside. So if she were gone, it wouldn't be hooked. She would have closed it and bolted it, and you wouldn't have that movement that you're having right now. Can't you hear it? Can't you hear the lock in the door? And Raskolnikov's on the other side thinking, what am I going to do? Am I going to wait till they, crash in here and kill him? Am I going to jump out and, kill him? Like, what am I going to do? And the young guy goes, oh, I'll go get the porter. I'll go see if maybe he's like, maybe there's something wrong with them. Like, maybe they're fainted or whatever. He's like, I'll go get the porter, tell him to wake her up. So he goes down, and then the older guy, is standing there and getting frustrated because the young guy is taking forever to come back. So he leaves too. And Raskolnikov realizes, this is my only chance. So he quickly leaves, starts going down the stairs, and he hears a bunch of ruckus again, like somebody chasing after somebody. It sounds like they're leaving the building. And then he hears those guys coming back up, and he's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then he remembers, oh, there's this open flat where the painters were. When he had gone up, he had seen painters painting that open, empty flat. So he runs in there just in time, runs around the door and up against the wall, and he hears them go up. And he's like, when they get up there and they realize that the door is open, they're going to realize that the killer was in there and that he just got away. So he very quickly leaves, gets out. He's, trying to walk at a normal pace. He doesn't want to draw attention to himself. He gets out into a more congested area where he feels like he can kind of blend in, and finally makes it home. He gets home, and it's like at this point he's just like not even thinking. He doesn't even care that the porter's door is closed. He's like, I'm just going to open it up. If he sees me, maybe I'll just hand the axe to him and say nothing. Like he just is just like overwhelmed with adrenaline. And he opens it up, and miraculously the porter is not there, and he just puts the axe right back where he had taken it, covers it up just like it had been, goes up to his room, sits down, and just stares blankly, like he can't even believe that he did it. It's over. And he's just now like coming down from the adrenaline rush. He got away. And this is where we leave him at the end of chapter 7. So when I see you again, we'll be in part 2, chapter 1. We'll be on to what happens after the crime. See you there.